show you how to make Christmas wreath and candles using quilling techniques. Take a quilling fringer and a 3/8 piece of paper. Put it in the fringer and fringe the paper. Now a fringer, what it does is it makes tiny little cuts on the paper, hundreds of little cuts that don't quite go all the way through, kind of like the teeth on a comb, if you can imagine. You cut this into 4-inch lengths, then put the fringed piece of paper in the quilling tool and wind it around, then glue the end down, pull it off the quilling tool, and then open it up so it looks like a little flower or a pom-pom. Fluff it all up. And you're going to do this about 30 times because that's how many on the wreath that you need. I discovered though that my fringer can hold 2 pieces of paper at once. So I can actually fringe 2 pieces of paper, which is going to save a lot of time. I discovered that today. Now for the actual wreath, here's a piece of cardstock. I'm just making a circle with a pencil. And then glue on your little fringed pieces to make the wreath shape. There we go. There's the wreath. Now we're going to work on the candles. For the candles, I'm using gold pieces of quilling paper, and you're going to make a candle shapes. And I'm using a needle tool, which is another quilling tool, just to round off the paper, because I want to fold the edges of the paper to the back, but I don't want it to be creased in the front. I just want it to be rounded in the front, like a dome shape. So you're going to end up with a structure that looks kind of like the letter D, with a flat back and a round front. And I actually show this technique with a large piece of paper so you can see what I'm doing with these small candle pieces. My camera does not zoom in very well, so it's hard for me to show you some of the tiny little details. And I've decided to take 3 candles of varying heights, and that's what I'm doing here, just deciding. So see what I mean? It's folded in the back and it's domed up in the front like that. That's basically what you're doing, but with the small pieces of paper. And then what I do is I'm going to be putting it onto the card. This is the first time I make this, so it's really kind of just experimenting, trying to find what looks nice. I found this idea online. I just did a search on a quilling website for candles and saw these. I thought they were really cute, so I'm reproducing it here. I'm making Christmas cards like I do every year, and this is my first attempt at Christmas cards so far. Now for the little flames, I think that's a 2-inch piece of paper, yellow. You wind it around, and instead of coiling it tight, you're just going to let it loosen a bit so you get a loose coil. Then you're going to glue the end down and pinch one of the ends to make a teardrop shape. I'm not going to go into the basic quilling techniques. I've done videos about basic quilling techniques, and I suggest you go back to my quilling playlist, to my paper craft playlist, to see how to do that. And you make 3 little flames to go on the candles, and then you're going to glue those down. Now for the holly leaves, it's a 4-inch piece of paper that you're going to wind up, and see how I'm letting the coil loosen, gluing the end down, and then pinch one end to make a teardrop shape. And you're going to make 6 of these, and you're going to glue them together in clumps of 3. Just makes it a little bit easier to set it in place. And then glue it down. Or you could cut out little holly leaf shapes and glue them on there. That would also work. As far as the holly goes, cut a 2-inch piece of paper. These are 1/8 of an inch quilling strips. They come in different widths. And then take the quilling tool, and you're going to make a very tight little coil. And do not let it uncoil though. You're going to leave it tight, and then you're going to glue the end down so you get like a little tiny round circle shape. And at this point, using tweezers is often easier because it's such tiny little pieces, and then place it. And then you're going to do a few others of these and glue those down as well. Now for the bow, I just make 2 loops of 3/8 quilling paper, glue them down, and then I'm cutting a piece in half just to get the right width, and I'm winding it around the center to make the center of the bow, and you're just going to glue that down. And then for the pieces of the bow that hang down, you just cut a piece at an angle at the ends for the ends of the pieces, and then just experiment here for the right length, and then glue those to the back of the bow. And then glue the bow down. And there it is, your finished card. I'm thinking for the next time I make this, I might actually make the wreath the front of the card, cut a hole in it, and have the candles inside, so when you open the wreath, the candles are inside. I might do that the next time. I think that'll be nice. French word of the day is for candle, chandelle.